One of the most common mistakes I see new traders make is that they don't take the time to set up an A+ framework for the strategy that they're using. Now, what's an A+ setup? So for me, there are multiple confluences, there's a certain time of day, so lots of factors that go into an A+ setup. And you may not see it every day as there are so many factors that are lining up, but when you do, it is really important that you're able to recognize it. And that's why it's important to practice and backtest. And if we're patient enough to wait for those setups and just kind of sit on our hands until then those are going to be our game changers. That's what's going to get us towards some real progress. Okay, and so the first step in an A+ setup is looking at the larger time frame analysis. So it's really important to zoom out and look at your daily time frame to see what's going on. What does the market look like? Does it look choppy, or does it look like it's moving pretty smoothly? So you can determine that by looking at the daily time frame. And we can see from this chart on EUR/USD that our daily time frame is showing us that we are in an uptrend by looking at this leg of price action. All right, and then also I want to think about the time of day. And as I said before, I have marked my chart using these color zones. So I trade in this green area, usually between about 9:15, 9:30 up through 11:30. So I like to have that on my chart. It gives me a good idea, a good visual of what's happening. When you study just a certain part of the day, then you understand how price moves during those hours. It isn't always exact, but you do get a good feel for how price moves during that time period. What we're doing is mastering a strategy, and that's what's going to help us in the markets. We're mastering a strategy, and when we're mastering it, part of our A+ setup is what has worked for us many times in the past. Do some back testing and some forward testing and decide what time works best for you. It's based on what you're good at, based on when you have time to trade. So there are lots of factors. So our third A+ setup is that we want to be sure that we wait for all of our candles to close. For example, here's our 15-minute time frame. So on this day, if we were to draw our 15-minute time frame here, let's say we had a break of our 15-minute trend line. So we see that there's a break here. And then we see that price retested this area and then continued upward. And so we would get into the trade after we see the 3-bar reversal. You could use this one, 1, 2, 3, or you could wait and look up here, 1, 2, 3. So a 3-bar reversal, the 9:30 open or after. And so once we train ourselves to see price action in the way that we need to take our trades successfully, then we're well on our way to A+ setups most of the time. And the last part of our A+ setups involves our risk. So we can't control what happens in the market, but what we can control is how much money we risk, how much we put on the table. So that's really the only thing that is completely in our control. So we want to be sure that we don't over leverage. We don't want to risk too much. We want to risk just enough so that we are still able to trade another day. And we also want to be sure that once we reach an area of support or an area of resistance, that we secure some profit. So if we were to enter the trade for instance, if we were to enter here after this wiki area, wait for our break and our retest, then we would want to be sure that we get some profit at the next area of support. And that would be, so we would just look left and we can see that there is, the next area of support would be like right around in here. So if we entered here, we would want to secure some profit in this area, in this zone, okay? And we could leave a runner if we wanted to, but we want to be sure that we secure some first, all right? And if we secure profit at the nearest support and resistance area, then that is what we call a base hit. Be sure to take off half or maybe 3/4 of your trade so that it's worth your time, right? If you want help setting up your A+ rules for your trading, I do have some one-on-one sessions available, and you'll receive a recording and some detailed action notes, and the link is in the description. What's your A+ setup? Let us know in the comments.